Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is dedicated for stars of Radio TV Atlanta, Georgia, USA. Weather information to keep you safe and productive in every society you belong. This is another beautiful day. I'm so excited that you've all tuned in to the show because it's very, very important at this time that we talking about our Ghana and then its independence. And so, if you just tune in, we have a guest, one of our guests, to talk a little bit. Who is a Pan Africanist? Who is going to talk some few about how far we've come and what we have achieved and why our founding fathers wanted us to go. So please, if you want to bear with me just for a moment, Four Stars Radio TV Atlanta, Georgia, you will say we're doing the best to pass the information to you. I have my guest who I'm going to introduce just about a minute now, uh, who will be with us to tell us more about the history of Ghana and how far we have come. A lot of us don't know the history of Ghana, and so when we say about the Ghana's independence, the understanding is little uh, misunderstood. A lot of us understood the history of Ghana. So, welcome to the show, Mr. Abdul Aziz. Mr. Abdul Aziz, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good evening. Good evening, and my greetings to your viewers, and thanks for hosting me tonight.
I'm so excited because, back home time is very precious. I mean, not only back home, everywhere time is precious, but people like you who have engagement almost everywhere, it's very difficult to find. But if you've made the time to be here, I'm so excited. And thank you so very much for what you do, and you're still doing it. Mr. Abdul is a Pan Africanist, and he knows better. Not better. I would not say it better, but at least you have an idea of when we talk about Ghana's independence. Now celebrating. Anyway, how is your family? How is your family doing? Everybody doing okay?
We are all doing great.
Oh, okay, great. If we hear the way everybody's doing, then we also have a peace of mind here because we have families and extended families everywhere out there in the country. Mr. Abdul, celebrating Ghana's 69th independence as of yesterday. From your perspective, how far have we come as a nation?
Thank you. Ghana gained independence from the British colonial rule on 6th March 1957, becoming the first African nation to achieve this milestone. The journey to independence was marked by significant resistance against colonial governors, which began with the establishment of the Gold Coast colony in the late 19th century. If we should wind the clock back, Ghanaians our origin starts from ancient Egypt. And from there, we migrated to ancient Ghana Empire, which is located around Mauritania today. And from there, we migrated to Mali Empire and then to today modern Ghana. Before that, the African history was much of slavery. I mean, the African history was marked with slavery. We all remember the trans-Arab slave trade, after followed by the European transatlantic trade, then also followed by colonialism. It became imperative and so important that the black race rise up and free itself from Western colonial imperialism. And Ghana was the first among the many black countries to take this step under the leadership of Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. But before then, we had the UGCC, which was also pushing for a similar independent movement. But the UGCC was more of a class, was more of a business group that didn't have the knowledge and the passion for independence like Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. So the UGCC members decided to invite Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah to assist. Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah went to continue his university education in the United States, and there he met great leaders like Marcus Garvey and the Pan-African movement, or the Black Renaissance, Black freedom fighters in the United States, particularly Marcus Garvey, who had much influence on him. Osajifo learned a lot, and he joined the West African Student Union, which was purposely West African independence. But the UGCC invited him because they've heard about his works, and they know that Osajifo was ahead of all of them. So they invited Osajifo and gave him the general secretary of UGCC. But Osajifo realized that the UGCC was not up to the task. They really was not passionate about Ghana's independence. So he separated and established the CPP in 1949. And the CPP started mass mobilization, educating Ghanaians about the need for independence through writing articles, through the newspapers, going to villages, educating the masses about the need for independence. And Ghanaians became aware the importance of independence. And then the CPP, the colonial government, signed the CPP under the Legislative Assembly in 1953, pushed for pushed for a legislation which we called the Motion of Destiny, and the colonial government agreed to give Ghana independence, and it was held. Osajifo won, and Ghana became independent. Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, who was passionate about and who had great ideas, embarked on industrialization. We all know the great works Osajifo did when it comes to industrialization. The Tema Harbour, the motorway, glass factories. Nkrumah established almost 1,000 factories. Nkrumah established built thousands of real estates, thousands of houses. Nkrumah did so much that we will spend now to tomorrow to talk about the achievement of Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. But what we realize is that a different faction of group of people who were part of the UGCC separated and created new political movement under the NLF. What's the name? Under the disguise of opposition. We had group of people who really didn't understand Nkrumah and who were not on the same page with Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah with his Pan-African ideas. So these guys were used by the West to truncate the great leadership Nkrumah was delivering to Ghana. They did so by propagating and conniving with the CIA to overthrow Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah in 1966. And since then, the successes Ghana was chopping in industrialization, in development, in employment was cut off. And as we all know, Ghana was also playing a major role on the international stage. Ghana was playing the political, or Ghana was like a leader when it comes to the political affairs on the continent. Ghana was seen as a political leader in Africa. Any direction Ghana takes, you have half of the continent following Ghana's direction. The style of Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah's leadership gained Ghana much respect. Our cedi was stronger than the dollar. The economy was good. Employment was, Ghanaians were fully employed. We had almost negative unemployment. Ghanaians, the per capita income of the Ghanaian then was almost equal or better than a US citizen. But after Nkrumah was overthrown, all the dynamics changed, and our economy became weaker and weaker. And today, as we speak, Ghana imports almost everything from outside. There's high unemployment. Youth are not getting employment. We can't produce what we eat. And there's also lack of patriotism. Nkrumah promoted and preached patriotism, the essence of what it means to be a Ghanaian. And Nkrumah wrote many books to guide Ghana so that we don't lose the independence we gain. But after the opposition came in under Kotoka, under NLM, all those books were burnt, and Ghanaians were denied knowledge of the essence of our independence. So today, you will realize that most Ghanaian young people really don't care about our independence celebration, because we have deliberately taken that information out of our educational system and brainwash many Ghanaians. But the truth is that our independence is so important as just like how Jesus Christ came for the Christendom, Muhammad came for the Islamic world. Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah came for Ghana and the black race. He wrote a book called Neocolonialism, which was written to inform us and make us aware that colonialism will come back in a different form. But we didn't take it serious. Today, as we speak, we have Africans ruling us who are behaving exactly like our colonial masters. So the relevance of our independence is being underestimated, because it's only a free man who can worship God. But if you are not free, you can worship God. So today, Osagyefo fought and gained us freedom. We have freedom to join any political party we want, freedom to worship any God we want, freedom to associate whatever association we want, freedom to be us, freedom from the British imperialism, British cultural indoctrination. We are free people today because of the struggle of the Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. So the relevance cannot be counted, but unfortunately, the direction and the vision Osagyefo brought has been truncated, and that is unfortunate. So for Ghana to really realize the full benefit of our freedom, we need to go back and take from where we left, where Osagyefo left. We have to take from there. We need to educate, enlighten the average Ghanaian about the Messiah, the message he brought. Because Osagyefo was carrying a message for the African, for the black race. And that is, the black man is capable of managing his own affairs. We need to take our destiny into our hands. That kind of Pan-African education needs to be inculcated to the youth. The youth have to learn what it means to be an African. Our identity needs to be redeveloped, where the young Africans will be proud of who we are. Our history needs to be taught in schools. So when we have this knowledge and when we have this identity, then we will have a reason to stand to protect this identity. But unfortunately, the average Ghanaian today have lost his identity intellectually and mentally. So the Ghanaian now associate himself with other foreign culture. Like, for example, after almost, if Ghana was a man, we will say he's now in his retiree age. Yet still, we don't have a common language. We do not have a language, we still speak English, as if Ghana is still an extension of the British colony. At least by now, we should have our own native language. We can adopt Twi, which is a very popular language in Ghana. Almost 70% of the population speak Twi. We have to believe in ourselves and develop our own culture. From there, we have to also make sure we embark on industrialization. We grow what we eat. We make sure the youth get employment. As we speak, Ghana spent almost $5 billion a year to import food and food products. We could do that in Ghana so that the youth can get jobs to do. And also, we can also look at our regional integration. Ghana is surrounded by Ghana is seen as a political leader and when it comes to Pan-Africanism. Ghana's role cannot be underestimated. Under the leadership of John Dramani Mahama, we've observed the moment he took power, he immediately brought stability within West Africa by visiting his neighboring countries and assuring them of Ghana's commitment and support. That is what a Pan-African leader does. With the style of leadership of President John Mahama, Ghana is likely to progress, and we are likely to see better improvement in the economy and peace and security within the ECOWAS region.
Okay.
I would say the relevance of our independence have been underestimated, and we have taken it for granted. And if you are not careful, we are losing our independence gradually, culturally, economically. We all know politically we are almost independent, but economically we are still not independent. Our economy is still pegged to foreign currencies, foreign economies. The behavior of foreign economies directly affect our economy, which is not the best. Employment situation in Ghana is so bad. Many Ghanaians have to travel outside. When Ghana is a land of so much natural resources, Ghana is full of gold. Our land is so arable. Even in your bedroom, you can plant seeds and it germinates and grow. So why should such an arable land like Ghana spend almost $5 billion a year to import food?
Okay.
When our young people are wasting, have no job, we import rice from Thailand, and Thailand economy is 5 times bigger than Ghana. Why do we have to deny the youth these opportunities and then give these opportunities to foreign countries? So I think it's unfortunate that we find ourselves in the situation we are, because from 1957 downwards, under the leadership of Osagifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana was giving economic aid to countries like Japan, Korea, Egypt, name it, Guinea. Ghana was really a very prosperous country. But today, we can't speak of that. Many Ghanaians are rushing and running out from Ghana to survive outside, when Ghana is supposed to be the mecca of West Africa. So I think the benefit of of Ghana's independence have not been realized. We have lost almost 50% or 60% of the benefit, and the 40% of what we have is the political independence we have and our territorial integrity, and our economic and our sovereignty. But this sovereignty is still not being realized in the economic sphere. It's still not being realized in the cultural sphere. For as we speak, we are still Christians, we are still Muslims. But these religions also carry with them their own identities. And this doesn't go far, because every human spend their resources on what they believe and on what their cultural orientation is. So I believe we can go further from once we gain economic sovereignty, we can also embark on cultural sovereignty. Cultural is where we will have to go into our culture and take the
Okay.
positive part of it, throw away the negative part, we keep ourselves and create a very beautiful identity for our country.
Okay.
And I know Ghana
S-
will have to serve as a role model for West Africa and for the entire black race, because everybody is looking up to Ghana. What Ghana does, every black country does.
Okay.
But
When we
unfortunately,
compare
the leadership of Ghana,
the vision of Kwame Nkrumah with Ghana today, can you say that are we at the right path, or we lack so many of his visions? Because he put visions out there. You just mentioned about 1,000 jobs and all those kind of how the buildings and how so many things, especially employment. If you compare that to today, are we on the right path, or we lack some of the visions that he set aside for the nation?
yeah, we lack, unfortunately, we lack a major part of his vision and direction that he brought to us, he gave us. Now, if you observe, Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's vision was to industrialize Ghana to the point where Ghana will be a model for the whole of Africa, where the neighboring countries will come and learn from us and also become like us. An example is Japan. We all know Japan played the development and industrialization of Japan played a major role in development in Southeast Asia. So Kwame Nkrumah wanted Ghana to play that role, but unfortunately, that vision was truncated, and Ghana today, even toothpick, we import toothpick, toothpaste, and almost everything. So when it comes to his vision for Ghana economy, we lost it. We lost that. Political independence. Well, our politics is now it's a monocracy politics where the one who have much money will automatically win the election. I think money have also come in, corruption and money have come in to destroy the democracy. So now people really cannot vote for the person, a candidate who comes with a proper vision for the country. But because of the economic situation, people are forced to vote for the one who can pay more. But regardless of that, Ghanaians are learning, and gradually we are taking back our political power. We saw the recent election where John Dramani Mahama was elected. Ghanaians really made their mind they were going to vote, and they were going to vote for someone they trust. And John Dramani Mahama have demonstrated that he can be trusted. So we as a country have not realized the full benefit and the full vision that Osajifo brought to us. We have abandoned it after his overthrow, and we are taking the wrong route. We are taking the wrong direction, where everybody does what they want. Nobody cares about Ghana. Everybody cares about their pockets, what they can get into their pocket. And as we speak, Oforiatta is in the US. He's refusing to come to Ghana because of allegations of corruption against him. The allegations of monies he took outside, millions of dollars. While Ghanaians are in poverty, we have politicians who throw monies in millions of dollars and run away to foreign countries, and they refuse to come back. Now, all this point to the fact that we have been brainwashed, we have been educated not to care about Ghana, not to develop ourselves. We have mentally been indoctrinated to hate ourselves. The vision of Osajifo, which is patriotism, Pan-Africanism, these visions have been swept under the carpet, and Western moderate education that really don't bring anything out of you is what they teach us now in our schools. The only curriculum they teach is average English, no education. What our education system is promoting now is how students can speak average English, no proper education, no proper history, so they know the toil and suffering we have faced, so that our young people know where we come from? No, we have been denied that. So
Okay.
most Ghanaians are growing in confusion, and in confusion, and of course, once you are confused, there's nothing you can do proper. And
Do we
surprisingly, when
still
Ghanaians,
do we still teach Ghana history in education? Do we have that in our educational curriculums? Ghana's history.
well, the history we have now is not being properly taught. Depends on the government we have in power, determines what kind of history we teach. We remember the past government under Akufo-Addo was promoting JB Dankwa and Buzia. And these guys, we all know, were not patriotic. We all remember Buzia was proposing to the British Queen not to give Ghana independence, and that we were not ready. We all remember rumors of JB Dankwa being a CIA agent, taking money from your foreign adversary to advance the purpose of a foreign government. So you don't promote such figures to young people because they'll grow and get to know the truth. So when you promote someone who seems to be, let me use the word, a thief to young people, and they believe in him, when they grow and they get to know this man was a thief, automatically they'll all become thieves. So I think Ghana got it wrong when we decided to push Nkrumah and his vision away. What we could have done, even if we didn't like Nkrumah, was to carry the message. We can kill the messenger, but carry the message. Because every great nation that we have under the sun have never denied the message, even
Okay.
if they denied the messenger.
Okay. At Ghana, this as we're celebrating this year independence, Ghana has a huge economic potentials. Why is it that development we still lack development? Because Ghana's potential is just keep going up and up and up. So why do we still have this low expectation of development? When we're talking about jobs, you make mention of jobs and the rest of it. The road network is so bad, and everything pretty much.
Yeah, that has to do with the economy. Like I said earlier on, we still don't have economic sovereignty. We all know not only Ghana, in Africa, we are relying on the banking system, the Western banking system. And these Western banking and World Bank, IMF policies makes attempt to control our local banking system. As we speak, our local banks are not allowed to inject capital directly into the economy. Most of the times, they will tell you if you want loans, go to World Bank, go to IMF, go to foreign banks, because they don't recognize our currencies. So what it means is that we have currency, but it's paper. So the reason why we are still backward economically is because the West have deliberately balkanized the African economy. We are they're waging economic war against Africans, where they make sure they deny us capital. If you observe, not only in Ghana, every black community in the world has been denied capital. Wherever you find yourself, there's a Western deliberate programs to make sure black communities don't have easy access to capital. So we realize they've refused to recognize our currencies. While in Europe, they recognize their currencies, they recognize their euro, their dollar. In Africa, it's not the same. Our currencies are not being recognized. Only our gold and our resources is what they recognize. But what it means is that our local banks cannot do international business without having to have access to foreign currency. And for you to have these foreign currencies, you need to trade with your resources, hard-earned resources. So what it means is that we are in a cycle of exploitation, a cycle of giving away our resources for somebody's money he prints in his office. So what it means is that the global economy, Africa has been casted out. We are not part of the. We are not on the round table of the global economy. We we don't control the IMF. We don't control the World Bank. Funds and loans we need to develop very essential aspect of our economy, we will not be giving. If you need loans to develop industries, factories, we will not be giving. But if you need loans to buy cars, to spend on unproductive adventures, you'll be giving. So what? So when you, so deliberately, so the West deliberately groom corrupt political leaders in Africa and give them money to waste, so that our debt will keep on climbing up and up. So every day we will continue to work for the Western economies.
Okay.
So the reason why we are backward is not only because of corrupt politicians in Africa, but because there's economic war being waged by the US and Europe against Africa. Because it's like they find it difficult to allow Africa to be itself. They find it difficult to allow Africa to thrive economically. At all times, every opportunity they get, they want to make sure they press Africans' neck. They make sure we depend on them. Anything we will do to break away from the economic yoke, they try to stop us. We all remember recently Nigeria under Dangote established the largest oil refinery in the world. Nigeria now produces millions of barrels of oil per day, and Nigeria is in a position to supply oil for the whole of West Africa. And guess what? For the first time, the United States under Donald Trump is starting to bomb Nigeria, starting to create chaos and anarchy in Nigeria. For the first time, Nigeria, a country that was considered irrelevant, all of a sudden, the United States have interest in Nigeria. So our viewers have to understand the reality that Europe and America are the main reason why Africa is not developing.
Okay.
They are almost interfering in everything with us. They are
So
responsible for the suffering, unemployment over here, because as we speak, the United States was largely developed by black people, black slave labor. Why having the United States pay compensation to the African, even if not the African on the continent, the African on the soil of the United States? The United States gives billions of dollars in aid to Israel. Why not Africa? When we are the ones who build the United States.
okay.
So you can see here a deliberate effort that the Africans should continue to be a slave.
So
We should continue to be slaves so they can use us as and when they like. So that is one reality. And this is what we are not telling our people. So they grow up really not getting to know who is the real adversary, who is the real enemy. So we
so
are forced to fight among ourselves, and we are not our own adversaries. We have a third party that benefited. Europe and America was built from the blood and toil of black people, and they really want to keep it going as such. And that is the reality, and that is the main reason why Africa is finding it difficult to develop.
but I
Because Osajifo
remember.
Dr. Kwame Nkrumah started.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you were about to say that. I know Osage Fu started the Organization of African Unity. I remember that. You know, I was young at that time, but you being a Pan Africanist, you can understand. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Mr. Abdullah Aziz, who is the Pan Africanist, who's talking. We just having a little conversation about Ghana's 69 independent. But up to now, Mr. Aziz, what is refraining the African leadership to come together and then have freedom? And then what mistakes in our Ghanaian history that you think should not be repeated again? What is in our Ghanaian history right now as we talk that should not be repeated again? We've seen so many military issues come and gone. We see how betrayal everyone is betrayed. So, from your perspective, what one thing do you think we should avoid repeating it in order for especially Ghana's development to take its course?
Thank you. one mistake which we made was to allow foreign interference. What we win ourselves away from foreign, because all the coup d'etats, were planned in the US, were planned outside Ghana. So we have to find ways and means. That is where resetting of the Ghanaian mind is very important. Once we do that, then nobody can sit any soldier to overthrow democratically elected government. So, and then secondly, we need to promote patriotism. We need to promote what it means, the value and the essence of being a Ghanaian. Once we do that, then people have a reason why they should sacrifice for the betterment of the country, money of the country, and sending them to US or Europe. And also, we have to embark on economic development, where Ghanaians will have employment and Ghanaians will have a reason to stay home, slaves in foreign countries. Ghanaians are suffering in US, Europe. They could have lived a happy life in Ghana, but they have away. And some of them never come back, live sorrowful life outside, or in the name of employment. So this is what I think we need to do.
Okay. Okay, all right. So, what is your final comment? To me, I think more education of our history must be taught in schools from KG, just like how most of the countries do. So, what is your final comment about this? Is the ninth celebration of independence we have, and what message do you have for the government and then the citizenry as well as we are listening to you? So, this is the final question, Mr. Abdul.
Thank you. My advice to the average Ghanaian is we should pay much attention, and we should not underestimate the independence we have. Others died to give us this independence. So therefore we should value it. We should teach our children about our independence. We should work hard and make sure the vision that the founding father Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah had come into fruition, and where we will live a better future for our children. We should build a country where our children will not have to travel overseas before they survive. We should build a formidable and a strong country so that our children will have a better future. So they should not become slaves in foreign countries. We should also look at cultural integration. As Ghanaians, we are all one. We should make effort to bridge the gap. We should do away with tribalism. We should do away with corruption. We should do away with nepotism, and think about Ghana. Once we concentrate, we make our minds, we are going to make Ghana better. We're going to do so because we have the men and the women. We have the men and the women. We have very intelligent Ghanaians are among the best people you can find anywhere on this earth. Wherever we go, we do so much well. But in Ghana, we're doing well, but there are issues. Why? Because the founding fathers' vision, which we need to inculcate in the youth, we have been denied. We have been denied the knowledge that we will need to build Ghana.
Okay.
We should make effort. Every Ghanaian should read the books Nkrumah have written. They should read about the struggle Nkrumah passed through to gain Ghana independence. They should read about the transatlantic slave trade. They should read about history. I mean, if you are Christian, you appreciate your church, Jesus Christ, because you read about him every day. If you are Ghanaian, you need to read about Ghana every day. Read about your history. Teach your children about your history, so they will appreciate what it means to be a Ghanaian.
Okay.
Otherwise, These children will end up wherever they are, and they will not be identity. So a lot can be said, but Ghanaians don't have to take our independence for granted. It's one of the greatest achievements in our lives, in the life of our nation. It's one of the greatest achievements that has made us who we are. The most is one of the most relevant, or I would say, is the most important achievement in
Okay.
our lives.
All right.
We have to take it serious, educate our people, educate our children, so that the mistake we made, they don't repeat them.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time, Mr. Abdul. And it's better that we have people like you who knows the history, that knows the in and out, and they also contribute to the nation's growth. And when we talk about education and history, you are one of them. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us, and we appreciate your effort and whatever you were doing. And I know that in the near future we'll come to you again for more of this history background, and hopefully for whatever you have put it out there, the leadership or the people in government are listening, and they will put the act together to make the world a better place, especially our African continent, that everything can be found. And so, thank you once again. Thank you very much, and
Thank you very much for hosting
you
me.
have a great
Let me
one.
end by saying,
Uh-huh.
thank you to our current president. We know he's making giant efforts in resetting the economy of Ghana, but he should also consider resetting the minds of Ghanaians, orientation, so that he can bring honesty among Ghanaians in our businesses, and love and respect for our country, and also his steps he's taking within ECOWAS, African Union. We congratulate him and we thank him for the great leadership style he's bringing into bear, and the
Okay.
fact that he's promoting Ghana. Ghana is gaining Ghana. The respect Ghana lost is coming back gradually, and we thank him for that.
Okay.
And the timing also, whenever we have another interview, we should have the information early so we can
We can,
prepare.
yeah.
You know,
Okay.
well, yeah,
I
this
got
is so
that.
impromptu. You know,
Okay. I got
so
that. Yeah.
impromptu. You can see,
I
yeah.
I got it. But
So
thank
you
you.
can bring
Thank you.
some, and
Yes.
you can do proper references and
Yes.
then proper professional contribution. This, as
Really.
we speak, I just landed and I just dropped down, and
And then
so
you have
next
the
time,
information.
let's
I
have the
know.
information early.
I know something that you've been
Yeah.
doing. You just been doing. You can even close your mind and you still know what you're saying. And
Thank you.
it's just absolutely
Thank you.
nice, beautiful, fantastic that you put it out there, Abdul. You did very well. And whatever you do, let me say it again. Whatever you're doing in the country, and then you're helping the development of the mindset of the people. It's a good thing. And if you will live enough to see, you will see the fruit of your words that you're putting out there. So thank you very much. Okay,
Thank
all right, okay, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, you heard me and then Abdul Aziz, who is a Pan Africanist. We're talking about the 69th celebration of Ghana's culture independence, and we have seen so many things come and go, but we are hopeful that in the few coming years things will get better and bigger for all of us to say, okay, now is the time, especially those diasporans, those back home, and both of us will say, okay, now this is the time and this is the moment that we are looking for to make our dreams come true. A lot of people in the diaspora just want to go home and settle. And so we're looking forward for whatever they're putting in place to yield a better fruit in order for all of us to benefit it. So, Dadake, I thank you all. I thank you, Abdul Aziz. I thank you, Andy, DJ Blagoji, and then Cynthia Aikens, the race of the cruise back home. We'll put all these things together. I say big thank you to all. And Dadake will continue to post all the good informations out to you in order for us to make a better decision. And with a solid foundation, you can build a beautiful or any structure upon it. So this is the foundation. The foundation of information is what we're giving a dedicated. I'm out.